But we're going to be taking a look at more details surrounding the supposed GTA 6 image, screenshot, or picture that can be found in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, the Definitive Edition, that was just released last week. And GTA 6 fans believe that this is our first ever look at something from the game. And essentially what we're looking at here, just to give you guys a quick refresher, is a couple of pictures on the wall of the Lil Probe Inn in Red County. And this is an alien, like, fan inn or motel. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But there's one picture on the wall in particular that has fans very interested. And it's this one sort of halfway down of this house. And a lot of people were interested in this because this house is not from Grand Theft Auto 5. It's not from Red Dead Redemption 2. It's not from another Rockstar Games title either. And so many believe, just based off of the way the screenshot looks, that this is Grand Theft Auto 6, and it is our first official look at it. Now, where we left things off, we basically were speculating that this was a typical Florida suburban house, and that this was likely Rockstar hinting at Vice City or a fictional Miami setting for Grand Theft Auto 6. And also looking at the picture itself, because it wasn't from any previous games, we were wondering if this was a sort of teaser that Rockstar was doing for Grand Theft Auto 6. Well, actually, there's a good little update to this because the actual house has been found. So what I first want to do is show you guys this screenshot right here. This is a side-by-side comparison that I honestly believe indicates it's the exact same house. So let's actually begin with number 1 and number 3. You can see these are the alignment of the trees here, trees above the garage, and then on the left-hand side, trees above that side of the house. For number 2, not only can you see the front of the house completely matches up, but you've also got the same sort of structure, same shape. And number 4, you've got the sky and the trees. Now, Rockstar have made some changes here. Obviously, it's not a complete like for like, but basically everything is the exact same. The layout of the house, where the tree is, the mailbox, etc. So it looks like this is the exact house. So now to give us some details on the house is found in Miami, and it's most likely the prototype for the photo we see in the trilogy. So in case you guys are wondering where it is, if you'd like to actually look at it for yourself, it's 2437 Northwest 26th Circle, Boca Raton, Florida, which is sort of like a subdivision of Miami, or it's a city close by. I'll show you guys some Google Map shots right now so you can kind of see where this is located. And if Grand Theft Auto 6 is to return to Miami, then it's very likely that the surrounding areas of Miami, Vice City, would be featured. So areas like Hollywood, Fort Lauderdale, Boca Raton, West Palm Beach, they would all be featured as well, because going back and playing Grand Theft Auto Vice City like we're doing right now, you just know how small it is because Rockstar didn't have the firepower on the PlayStation 2 to build a huge world. Well, now they do. So this is the exact house here. It has the correct arrangement of trees. The sky and behind the house are empty. There's no other buildings. The houses are almost a one-to-one shape with only minor changes from Rockstar. And then it's clear that all Rockstar did was sort of add some things on their own, like 2 palm trees in the center and the flower beds. This is becoming very, very interesting right here, I will admit. And one thing that also jumped out to me is the sky and the clouds. They look so much like Red Dead Redemption 2, and I think it's clear that Rockstar will use an updated engine based off of Red Dead Redemption 2's engine for Grand Theft Auto 6. And I also don't think it's a coincidence that they showcase a modern house and palm trees that resembles what we would see in Florida. And I think also everyone can agree that this is not a house within RDR2. It's nothing found within GTA 5. I'm honestly going to take this as a hint for Grand Theft Auto 6. Again, we know that Rockstar have done this in the past with Easter eggs, billboards, hinting towards future projects, and I think we might have found that in the Trilogy Definitive Edition in Red Dead Redemption 2. Now, what also makes this interesting is where this is found. We know Rockstar's obsession with aliens. We know their obsessions with UFOs. We also just know that in general, aliens and UFOs and extraterrestrials, by default, that's just kind of like a spooky, mysterious topic to talk about. So the fact that it's featured in there also makes this more interesting. And this is coming about a week or two after we just had this crazy UFO event in Grand Theft Auto Online, where there was UFOs all over the city. So I'm not sure if these are connected, but it is interesting that if this is a GTA 6 reference or Easter egg, that's where it takes place. Now, I do want to play devil's advocate here a little bit. Let's just kind of balance our tinfoil hatness with some common sense. So regarding the shape of the house, this is a very common style of house. And it's a very common style of house that you see in Florida particularly. So this could have just been a stock image that Rockstar used, although it seems weird because why wouldn't they just pick a house from GTA 5? They used plenty of assets from RDR2 and Grand Theft Auto 5 in other parts of the world, so I don't know why in this instance in particular they would choose to use something that's not from one of their games.
So for those of you that have been following my videos recently, you do know that we did receive a very important report recently that did say that Rockstar allegedly wanted to reveal GTA 6 in the spring of 2020, but ended up having to delay the release and the announcement due to the game not being in a finished state that they can show to the world. Now, GTA 6 allegedly started development and work all the way back in 2014, so you may be wondering what is happening when it's been well over 6 years now and they don't have a product that they can show with a reveal trailer. Now, according to the leaker and the insider source, Rockstar allegedly had to restart development on the game multiple times due to the storyline changing over the years. I'm sure a lot of the base functionality and part of the map is already done and ready to go. However, the storyline, along with a lot of the other smaller but very important changes, simply are not ready to show to the world because Rockstar had to restart development multiple times. Now, the exact reason why Rockstar had to restart development a number of times, including last year in 2020, is not really known at the moment. However, if I had to guess personally, it's likely going to be surrounding consumer demand and trends in the world, because after all, the GTA series is a parody in the modern day world, and with things changing so much over the past couple of years, it's not really surprising that Rockstar had to take a step back and redo part of the game to reflect the new world that we live in. Combine that with a majority of Rockstar's team working remote, and now half of the team working remote and the other half in the office, things certainly were not going 100% to plan as Rockstar anticipated, but the good news here is, according to what we have heard so far, Rockstar has been pretty smooth in terms of development for GTA 6 since they had to take a step back last year when they ended up having to delay the reveal. Now, obviously, we are getting towards the end of 2021, and we have not heard anything about GTA 6 this year so far, officially from Rockstar. Now, I personally would say that we are likely not going to receive any more information this year from Rockstar. If we would have, it will definitely have leaked by now, but instead I want to discuss what exactly we are expecting next year in 2022 from Rockstar Games about GTA 6. If things continue going to plan and there is not another delay like we had last year in 2020, I do strongly expect Rockstar to reveal GTA 6 to the world next year in 2022. Now, Rockstar was already planning this in 2020 and likely wanted to do it this year in 2021 because, after all, the amount of DLC that we received for GTA Online has been pretty minimal, and that likely was an attempt to calm down the news cycle so when GTA 6 gets revealed, it is a big surprise to everyone and it gets everyone talking about it. So I think next year the same thing will happen with GTA Online DLC being a lot less volume than usual, but instead I do expect the reveal for GTA 6 to finally take place around the spring of next year. Now, technically, spring is between the months of March, April, and May. So it's not 100% confirmed whether we will see it then or maybe a little bit later into the summer. However, I do expect us strongly to receive a reveal for GTA 6 next year based on all of the news that we heard so far and what Rockstar has been doing in terms of making sure they're staying on top of GTA development and even backtracking if needed to make sure that they release a quality product.